So, welcome. I'm painting this because I set myself a task today of doing a painting, and it's 10 o'clock at night and I haven't eaten my dinner, and I'm determined to stick to my plan. I made it sound very bad now I haven't eaten my dinner, but I'm determined to stick to the plan I had to paint something today, you know. And so I'm just going to do a few minutes on this in order that and also my dinner's in the oven cooking, like, so I may as well do something here in the meantime. So it's a really gorgeous painting of Luskentyre beach, and I think I'll start with, what'll I start with? I might put an underpainting. Remember, I did some underpaintings in purple for the bluebell thing, but I'm kind of half inclined to put some purple underneath this, because the distant land looks to me to be a bit purple, and I thought it might be a good place to start. Way too much paint out. And it'll never dry, but there's no harm to do something anyway to begin with. It's Maisie. So today was a funny kind of a day because Maisie got a bite from another dog at the dog walkers. I mean, I think she was asking for it really. But anyway, I had to kind of deal with that today. She's okay. It's not a big deal really. And then there was a few other things that scuppered the plans, you know. I gave Erin a lift to go out, and I gave Lily a lift to go out. And it was all stuff I'd agreed to do, so it was fine, you know. But it meant that I didn't get my painting done until now, so rather than not do it, I remembered the advice from James Clear, you know, that guy who does that wonderful newsletter, and he wrote Atomic Habits. I like what he said. He said, if there's something that you need to do that you're putting off, just do 2 minutes of it. Just set yourself the task of doing 2 minutes. And he actually said to set a timer that to go off at the 2 minutes and stop. At that point to stop. But I'm not going to do that because, you know, my dinner will be overcooked if I go way over. So I know that I want to go way over. I actually made the dinner earlier, and then the lady who walks my dogs came around with a spray from Maisie's cot, and we got talking, and it was great. Like, we had a great chat. But it went on. Lily was trying to get ready to go out as well, so she was kind of in the mix, trying to dry her. We were helping her drying her clothes to go out. Anyway, there was a whole load of things kind of occurred there, but in the meantime I had aubergine in the oven, and it had gone fierce crispy. I forgot all about it. So when I dropped Lily to her friend's house, I bought myself a new aubergine. I mean, I did eat all of the crispy aubergine, but now I needed to get more because I'm making a moussaka. Vegetable moussaka. And I've got all the rest of the ingredients, it's just the aubergine. So that's in the oven now, and it's going to take about 10 minutes from now, I think. So I don't want to have another crispy aubergine. So that'll, my food is important to me, like. So that's going to cause me to not go overboard here. So this is Luskentyre Beach, taken by my friend Marsha. Actually Marsh, she calls herself Marsh. And she took this incredible photo and sent it to me a few years ago. And I was reminded of it when I started doing these little paintings from photos. It's something I never thought I would get into, you know, painting from photos really, as a pleasure for myself, like. And that's what it's ended up being. And I've been taking pictures all over the show. Like, I was in Edinburgh a couple of days ago, and at night time it's gorgeous there, the castle lit up. So that might be another one of these little projects. I can just sit at my table in the bedroom. That's where I am now. And apply myself to this single task, you know. It's kind of nice having a single thing to do. Now, yeah, so what am I going to do here now? I think I might as well put some tape here And I suppose I'll put the blue of the sea down next. The proportions of this are slightly off because the picture I've got is wider than the proportions I have here, so I'm either going to increase, it looks like I've increased the length of the bottom of it, but if I can make the sky bigger or smaller, or I can make the grass bigger, higher, you know. What am I doing now? Looking for a blue for the sea. So I've got, that's cobalt blue and this is cerulean blue. I'm going to put them out and just see what they look like. Cobalt blue looks quite good. Might need to mix it with a green, I'd say. Cerulean blue, that's not bad either. In a way, this cerulean blue is kind of almost closer. But I think I need to put a red in it to knock the colour out a bit. It needs a little bit of red, I think. So this now is crimson. Let's see if I can get it to actually come out of the tube. I very often just open the top, and that's a habit that isn't great, because then the top is loose and all the rest of it, and I'm kind of tempted to do that every time, which isn't, I don't think, a good idea. No, I'm going to have to, because it doesn't look like it wants to come out. Just got a tiny bit in my hand there. Stick the scissors into it. It's just something plugging the hole. Right, there we are. That'll do. I think I've got enough. It's just to add a little bit to the sea colour to stop it being so colourful, really. So let's actually do it with a brush now, because this is quite a smooth surface I'm aiming to explain here. And of course there'll be the frothy edge as well. Just leave that for now, like it's really only just to kind of put something down to describe each part of the painting. Oh, I think the sky might be more of an ultramarine blue now. Have I got my ultramarine blue? No, I've got deep violet. Yeah, ultramarine blue. I feel like the sky might be closest to ultramarine blue. I don't know, am I right or not about that now, but I mean, ultramarine blue that's well watered down and put on with a clean brush might be just the thing. I thought I had some kitchen paper up here, but I don't, so I'm using an old tea towel now. I hope that it's going to be clean enough. I'm just going to try it directly on there. It kind of doesn't look at all like the colour of the sky, but it might be just a touch of cerulean blue mixed in with the ultramarine blue. Might be all that's needed there. See the brush, it's fairly dry, you know, the way I'm putting it on. Yeah, I mean I could mix it with white and stuff, but because it's really not very satisfying in terms of brightness there now. I'll try again. I might actually use some white just now. Just in order to find out what colour it actually is. So that's the blue I had been using. It's a bit dirty looking, really. Dry my brush. I like to use a dry brush here so that I can scumble on the colour and figure out what I need to do to it. Let's see now. See, that's not at all like the sky, really. wonder what the cobalt blue would be like. That's not it either. I think it might be this sorry, that was cerulean blue, I mean. I think it might be the cobalt blue is the one I'm looking for. I'm going to mix it with white, let's see. Yeah, and of course we've got the added complication of that purple underneath it. I'm going to plaster this on there and just see. I think what I'll do is make it brighter eventually, but for now, that'll do. It's a very poor example of colour mixing there now to try and get the brightness of that blue sky. But I kind of am assuring myself that I will get it, and that what I'm putting here is almost like an underpainting, and that I don't need to worry too much about getting it exact at the moment. Might put a touch on the right hand side of the water as well. And then really, the sky in general is made up of mostly whitish, cloudy kind of, summer's day clouds, but they're fairly wispy and blue-white, just occasionally breaking into some bit of brightness. I think over there's a slightly brighter one sailing into the blue. So I'm just cross-hatching and picking up some of the blue to create that greyish blue cloudiness that I'm seeing. And there's this gorgeous white froth too at the edge of the water that I think might be my final move before I go and have my dinner. And for that final move, I am going to block off the blue ocean. And I don't think I need to block off the sand because it's almost the colour of the purple really. But I want the brightness of the edge of the water to be clearly the brightest part of the whole image. So I'm using it quite thickly. Probably would have been a good idea to wash my brush completely first, and to maybe get out more paint, because I'm scraping the barrel here, but like I said, I don't want burnt aubergine, so I'm just doing it swiftly, just to satisfy myself that the frothy edge has been begun anyway. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye to you, and I leave myself kind of wanting, which is no harm. It's always a good thing to be left looking forward to doing more. So I'll see you tomorrow. Probably I'll do a bit more tomorrow. Thanks. I'll just show you what happened there. It's the bones of Luskentyre beach beginning. Okay, thanks. See ya.